This Metatainment production is brought to you today by the Samurai Aquatics and Decor Metaventure. Scan that QR code or click that link in the description and dive yourself headfirst into the Samurai Aquatics Discord server to pleasure your peepers on our current and future range of outdoor decor.
Keep the waves going.
Well, that makes sense, I guess. Yes. All right. Yeah. Like I said, we haven't put a recorded one of these out for a while, so we'll go ahead and spitball things. And actually, we haven't, all three of us in the same room together, we haven't really touched base for a while either. So
yeah,
it's good to kind of catch up on things. Like I said, we have had a bunch of information come through that is pretty good news. We've had some additional good news that I don't think you're privy to yet either, Detech. You know how we originally built the small factory on the Midtown Terrace property? And then we were thinking, well, hang on a minute, if our small factory's there, where the hell are we going to put the showroom?
Yep.
And there's a person within Midtown Terrace who has that big kind of long, weird shaped property. I've helped him build a few of his apartment buildings and bits and bobs in the past. I have reached out to him in DM just to see if he's open to the idea of maybe selling that in the future. He's not somebody who's super engaged, so I don't know if that's ever going to come to fruition or if he's going to ask for a stupid price or something. But if it's in a reasonable price, I'll definitely go ahead and buy that as an extra option moving forward, because that's realistically, unless they open up that big massive property on the top left, there's no real spot in there within Midtown Terrace to do.
And there's no guarantee we'll get that.
Yeah, absolutely. We just don't know. And you know, we do have a spot like in between where you know, on the right hand side where your apartment is, Detech. There's you and me, and then the other side there's Cheese. There's a bank of, I think it's 8 properties there.
Yeah.
The idea was that we would be able to merge those and make that the kind of showroom property. Obviously, merging properties is, who knows if that will ever come to fruition, sort of thing. So, you know, it was looking likely that we were going to end up in a situation where the factory was in Midtown Terrace, but because we didn't have any room, the showroom was going to be in some other part of San Francisco.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it wouldn't be terrible, but it's not ideal, is it? So, so I did reach out to the team and backwards and forwards. Can we move the factory? Because I built that. You know, you helped me build that backup factory in San Francisco. That's sitting there ready to go. Initially, I was told no, it's too late because the trains left the station. Got some news this morning that it looks like that may be the case, that they can switch.
Nice.
Which is good news. So that means our small factory will now be in, I think it's Potoro Hill. If you wanted to check it out, it's the top left corner of Potoro Hill. And it's actually, I turned on pins, and it's actually a UPS distribution center, the property. Yeah. Well, that's kind of cool. Yeah, it's 2222 17th Street.
I actually know where it is on the map by now because I went there so many times.
Yeah, so yeah, that's quite funny. It's got the pin on it. UPS
nice.
Distribution Center. So there's a lot of room there. There's way more room there than the small factory we had on the Midtown Terrace plot. So it's kind of good that it's still in San Francisco. So as far as we know, well, definitely from the initial release period, we're not going to have to use any sort of vehicles to move the items from here to the holding plots in Midtown Terrace. Like, we still have, whatever it is, there's still 50 properties there along Aqua Vista Way where the stock will be manufactured in this plant, but it will still be moved for storage to Midtown Terrace.
So this whole time I'm in Bronx looking for the...
Wow, Detech.
Oh, man.
You make me feel better about myself.
After he just gets done saying, yeah, I know where it is.
Yeah, I know, and I'm like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good news. I'm not going to demolish the factory in Midtown Terrace yet, because who knows, sometimes these things, they don't pan out how they... That would be the worst case scenario.
can we have a showroom there with the factory?
No, you can't have two in one.
Okay.
So, we'll basically we'll have both the factories. Once Upland has 100% confirmed that everything's been done on the new factory. Once manufacturing has started on there, then I'll demolish the old factory, and that'll essentially, assuming that it's big enough, and that'll be essentially primed, ready to go for.
You have to build
showroom.
a building there.
Yeah,
So we can build like a Lilith tower.
No, they've got purpose-built showrooms coming out. It's going to be a specialized building.
Nice.
So again,
the Lily Tower would have looked awesome.
yeah, well, that property, I don't think that would be big enough for the Lily Tower. Although they did readjust the footprint, so maybe it would have been. Let me see. I did ask about the size of. I don't know if I'm at liberty to divulge that information. I did ask about the size of it. Oh yeah, Jennifer said it's a bit too early to tell for now, but they have a couple of designs as far as the showroom goes. Could be changed, but yeah. Okay, so the figure she said there, it would fit within that property. It would just depend on the shape, because that property is such a weird shape. You know, if it was a big, massive, I don't know, showroom to me sounds like a big kind of rectangle, like a. That's what it appears to me, but again, I got no idea. You know what I mean? No? Blank stares?
I mean, so are they deciding the showroom has to be big enough to have all this stuff in there, or is it just like a showroom?
Yeah, the showroom's just the showroom, because remember the way it's going to work is we're manufacturing these items in the Pottero Hill factory.
Yeah.
Once those items are done, they get moved to storage in Pottero Hill in that property, in the UPS distribution center. So like we see with the cars, you know, that's going to fill up. But because we have so many mint numbers and we want to get so much inventory ready, there will come a point in time where that starts to get full. So when that starts getting full, we need to move those items from there to storage in all of the empty lots in Midtown Terrace along Aquavista Way. So as far as I know, the showroom itself will be kind of just like the Legits and the Block Explorer shops. So it's going to be a thing where you click on it and you can go in, and I would assume it's going to be displayed.
It shouldn't be that big then.
Yeah, well, you want it to be big so it looks physically impressive. You don't want it to be small townhouse size or something. But yeah, we really don't know.
But like your area over there is pretty big.
Yeah.
If it's bigger than that, then that's just Kookamadoodles.
It's what?
Kookamadoodles.
I thought you said poop on my doodles. I was going to say that's a completely different show. Yeah. I think it will. I think it won't be an issue. So yeah, and it kind of actually that works out well because of the shape of that property. Now I'll do a bit of shitty doodling. Speaking of doodles, so the shape of that property as it stands is a weird one. It's kind of like it kind of goes like this, and then it goes around like that. Yeah. So I'm hoping like the showroom will go wherever it's going to be in here. The showroom goes there, say. And then there's all those plots of land at the front. Like I said, I think there's 8. There's 8 plots of land in the front. Well, that's pretty good for car parking. So the cars could park straight there, sort of thing. So I don't know. Maybe it works out well. You look completely bamboozled by my shitty doodles.
No, I'm just wondering why I'm watching you draw a doodle.
It's a robot
Time is
head.
money, Ben. Time is money.
Yeah, so I think that's all good. We just got to wait to make sure that's all confirmed. Hopefully, if it's not, then we just play it by ear from there. That's about all I need to say for that. Cheesy.
Pricing.
Pricing is very, very, very tricky. So before we get to that, I think some of the pricing stuff we're not going to push out publicly because we're not at liberty to push the Spark pricing. So we'll say that right for the back end.
Would it be okay if I left, went to eat, and then came back for when you guys are in the back end?
If you're ready to go out, yeah, absolutely. I was just going to touch on some art stuff.
Odd stuff?
Art.
Oh, art stuff. What's up with the art?
Oh no, Cheese doesn't like art stuff.
No, but if you got to bail out, go. It's fine.
So mean.
No, we're just checking in. So as far as I'm aware, that 11th piece is done. You're just playing with the lottos.
Well, it's done. I just have to make the 2 LODs.
Yeah.
But
And
You
submitting
down with
those.
LOD? Sorry.
We know that as soon as that's ready, I'll submit it, but that won't be available for launch. We know that there's several of our models. What do we got with that? That'll be the 12th piece that we've submitted, but it looks likely that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks likely of the 12 pieces that we've finished and submitted, only 6 of them will be available for manufacturing straight away.
Did they say which ones?
Yes, we did get the, she's going to be back. We did get the pricing. We've been sent Spark pricing for the 6. So that will be the sauna, the jacuzzi, both of the seatings, the pool, and the garden swing.
Oh, well.
So we still haven't, as far as I know.
Did you say sauna or sauna no?
Yes, sauna looks ready to go.
Okay, so.
Yeah. As far as I know, we still haven't heard back about what are the 2 ones that still haven't been approved? The the bathing station, and what was the other one? Oh, the grill, which is a bit disappointing that that's not going to be ready.
Yeah.
I assume, they're going to be that smashed at the moment trying to get all this ready. So I assume that once we are up and manufacturing, then hopefully those other ones come online. Do you know, have you heard anything about like being able to manufacture multiple things at the same time?
Yeah. So yeah, you like set up how many you want to manufacture and then you put Spark on it. And
so like within our factory, are we going to be able to build saunas at the same time as pools, or are we going to have to do like 10 saunas, 10 pools? And then
I was thinking, I actually don't know, but I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be like a bunch of one item, because for larger factories, you can do like multiple items, I guess,
have
or
you
like a medium. But
do you know anything about the cars? Like, I haven't really looked into the car manufacturer myself. Yeah, I wonder if they're doing like, okay, for the next week we're building trucks and now we're doing vans, or I wonder if they're doing it all at the same time. I don't actually know myself.
No idea.
That's going to be interesting. If ideally we can manufacture multiple items at the same time, and it's just a matter of getting the spark piled on. If not, then we're going to have to say, okay, we're going to do maybe, I don't know, 20 of these. And then once 20 of those are ready, let's do 20 of the next and 20 of the next till we work through the set. But until then, we just got to play it by ear.
Again, once we, go off camera and talk about Spark Hour.
Yeah.
Maybe like, because it all depends on how long it takes, right? So don't make it for a month and then.
Yeah, well, we've been struggling to come up with pricing, like, and Chiz and I were talking before, like, we want this, we don't want to get ourselves in a situation where we put a price out there and then we find out that, hang on a minute, the actual Spark price to manufacture all this
is more.
And we're going to essentially lose our pretend play money. So it's a tricky one, but we don't want to make it so high that we alienate the community and that sort of stuff too. So it's a really tough balance. And I also think Cheese had a look before on the Mossy Jake site, the UpX exchange, and I think she said it's between 9 UpX per hour and 21 UpX per hour. But I think once manufacturing starts, there's only whatever it is, the 10 of us or however many's left. Yeah. Once there is a use case for Spark and we're going to be gobbling up as much spark as we can get hold of, assuming that we can get third parties involved. So,
so what happens when we fill up the factory property and then the showroom? We have to stop manufacturing, or can you move somewhere else as well?
Because I don't think that the showroom's not going to have anything to do with. The showroom's not a storage facility. It's basically.
It's just when they buy it.
Yeah, okay. I think it's going to be like, if you go to a Block Explorer shop now, and that's part of the artwork we had to submit was that background artwork. So I think it's going to be. It'll have all of the items we have for sale, and it'll have the price and how many's there, and you'll be able to have a buy button. I think that's just going to be like a user interface. That's not going to have anything to do with stock. So when the factory property gets full, we have all those empty properties in Midtown Terrace along Aqua Vista Way. I'll be moving the stock. Essentially, you're moving the stock from storage at the factory to storage in front of the showroom. So that'll be whether that's something that we stick to long term. I don't know at this stage, and maybe the case that if we fill up that top right part of the Midtown Terrace node full of storage stock, maybe it looks shit house and we don't want to keep it like that.
Yeah.
So, but we'll just play that one by ear, I think. Now I did that big. Well, the medium-sized factory that you're helping me build now, I just bought that 2-3 days ago. That was a really good price. Like, I don't think the seller was aware that was sitting there at that low price. So it's nearly 5,000 up squared. There's two properties there. There's a big one we're building the factory on, and there's a smaller one to the left of it.
Yeah.
So
did you say 5,000 square?
The big one is over 4,000 up squared. That's the property that the medium factory's been built on now, and then I also
that's bigger than the one I got in Porto. Wow, that's huge.
way bigger. Yeah, way bigger. So
the one I got is 3,000.
We'll leave that there as a medium-sized factory, and then I do actually have it's just under 5,000 up squared in Fresno. So we've always talked about that as another option. So I'll hold that off. If we get large factories, and then we potentially build one there too as another layer of what the business can be. We'll see. But other than that, as far as working at the pricing, it's so tricky. I mean, we have to figure in the fees that we pay, the venture dues fees, the Spark rental cost. So I think Cheese said the current Spark rental price is between 9 and 21 UPEX per hour. I don't know what that was. I think it might have been around the 25. Some of the figures I patched in the model was 25 UPEX per hour. I think we should double that just to allow for the increased demand that's going to be happening. Yeah. So I think we're probably going to need to do our calculations based on something like 50 UPEX per hour. And then once we get that figure, then we can kind of work backwards from there. I have reached out to UCC and I've asked them to see if they can come up with a generalized figure from their end as well. Because at the moment we're trying to build something with no information, or only piecemeal bits of information. So
we have a lot more information now than we did when we started.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like,
and like I'm pretty sure we're going to get an announcement very soon that manufacturing has started. Like it'll happen when I'm asleep, because it'll be in Upland, probably 8 a.m. PT time.
Yeah,
that manufacturing is good to start. So I'll wake up and immediately begin what I can. And then we'll just have to get back on board and touch base there and see how we're just going to have to see how it's
going to be exciting.
Out. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. But yeah, it's going to be a case where manufacturing starts, but that's not the release of Outdoor Decor. We still need time to build the showroom, and that's a tricky point too, because if we've got all our Spark piled into manufacturing, but we still need to build a showroom, So there's probably a cost associated there where I'm going to have to reach out to the UCC and say, okay, we got the showroom. Can you help us build it? So
yeah,
that'll be just a one-off fixed cost.
I keep coming back to when we just started, and I talked with Jennifer for the first time, and she asked me just take a building and build stuff behind it, so like a rough draft.
Yeah.
So I keep coming back to it, that they had to take this to the art team, look at it, and say, okay, that kind of works, right? So it was like they, it was absolutely like no information kind of on both sides. So I back then I thought they knew like everything they're gonna tell you, but it kind of developed over time, and it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if you're aware that there has been a lot of frustration with some of the other outdoor decor members about you know, you could call it a lack of communication or whatever you want to call it between the team and us, but I really think it's just a case of, because this is being built from nothing, like
Mhm.
we're learning just as quickly as the team's learning. You know, we
Yeah,
ask questions, but they don't have the answers yet because it hasn't been built yet, sort of thing. So,
yeah.
I mean, I think they're doing as good a job as they can with the information that they have too. So
It's gonna be so much easier for shops that open up later.
oh hell yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah. Well, how do you feel like you're going with the art development process? Obviously, this has been a huge learning curve for you,
So
but
I now know what takes more time and what takes less. Remember, I wrote like if I ever want to do something with 30 plus textures,
yeah,
tell me not to, because I spent like 2 nights just making like a UV map to make everything. Again, the when we use textures with the art stuff, it becomes a lot more work because I have to make space for to have quality of the image. If you do something just with color, it's like so
straight in.
90% of the time goes into those textures to put them in, and just
Yeah,
because I have to reconfigure, I can't do it automatic UV map.
yeah,
I have to put, but it's so much more fun. Like,
yeah. Well, it adds so much more detail, but that's something that we're going to have to keep in mind when it comes to pricing too, like the extra
yeah,
time that's involved in those sorts of things.
like when we put the picture on the umbrella, that's one texture I have to work with. When we did the samurai, it was like 6 or 7. It was getting like really complicated. And this one, I could have did it with 4 images, right?
Mm.
And I'll do that for the LOD, but I made those 20 textures to get like extra detail, and I'm not doing that again ever, ever.
I bet.
No, you gave me the images. I could have just put the image and did it with the
Oh,
image, but I did it texture so I can like pull them out and do all that, and
Yeah,
it came out
good.
really good. I mean, everything came out good. So,
yeah.
Yeah. But
So,
another thing,
yep.
we're gonna discuss this later when we discuss off camera, but yeah, we'll discuss it later, right? Because everything I'm gonna say now, it's gonna be a spoiler. So,
I just got to turn my headphones here. The washing machine's going crazy behind me.
that's so
That's
cool. Yeah, I can't hear a thing.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's driving me bonkers, but now I can hear you. So I was just we are just going over about some of the stuff that's kicked off with frustrations with some of the outdoor decor members, you know, as far as communication and whatnot. And we're just suggesting that, you know, everybody's new to the space. It's all evolving as it goes. And Detech was saying how people that come after us are going to have such a huge advantage because we've been through all the drama and teeth and
no,
problems.
we'll still have
Exactly.
advantage because we have experience, right?
Yeah,
But they're gonna be given like a list of parameters,
yeah,
like even the list uh, of parameters that we have now, we didn't have in the beginning.
yeah,
You know how I had to change all the models because they were, different. Yeah.
absolutely.
And then we didn't know we had to make 3 copies of each. So,
Yes. All right. So what about we've got advertising sorted out, like we've started to patch in our sorry if I'm talking crazy loud. I can't hear myself talk.
No.
we've got the short ad now that's Detech's playing with the samurai in the background with his afro hair. I love it. That's creepy. So we've got the short ad that we've started patching in our own productions. We've put that test ad out that should be coming out soon, and we've got the long ad ready to go too. Geez, when do we want, now that manufacturing's being moved to a different location? You know, originally the point was once manufacturing starts and people can see that manufacturing's happening, then we were going to push that ad. So what do we do
the
there?
showroom is still going to be the showroom, and it's still
Yes.
going to be that address. Like we can say, see, I don't know, because what if something changes like next week?
Yeah. So that's why I think you know, in the ad we've put 30 Aquavista Way. I think we just cut off the 30 and just make it Aquavista Way, because all of those properties in Aquavista Way, every single one except for a couple down the bottom that I gave to Screw and your apartment and Detech's apartment, is reserved for the business. So, and that's where we're going to be storing stock and that sort of stuff too. So,
But aren't people gonna like catch the address and type it in to find it?
Like,
well,
I agree with him. Like, it's true what you say, and it's really cool that it's just a name. But I'm one of those nervous Nancy's that wants a number. I want a number to my address.
I can't get you to see. If you type in Aquavista Way, it does come up just as Aquavista Way, and it sends you right in front of my apartment building.
Nice.
Which is right in front of what will essentially be the storeroom. So
the question Cheese probably has is like, will people figure out that we're talking about a street because there's no street number? Kind of, it's we should ask a few people.
Like we should go by what is the most stimulated person in the chat here. I need a number.
Yeah, that's fine. We can still continue to use 30 Aquavista Way because that will be the showroom address. But there's going to be a period between when manufacturing starts in the Potoro Hill plant, and there's going to be quite a lag. Like, manufacturing is going to be happening there, but there's going to be quite a lag between that starting, the showroom being built. You know what I mean? So it may be another month. If you're okay to hold off and using that ad for another month.
But what is the difference taking the number would make?
Oh, it's nothing.
Taking the number off.
Oh. At this point in time, yeah, you're right. It wouldn't make any difference. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You could use 68 Aquavista Way.
Well, unfortunately, there isn't a 68 Aquavista Way, because I would have made that
but it sends you to
I would have made that my
building.
residential address. I was quite frustrated when I worked that out. Yes. Which is annoying. It goes, what does it go? It goes 66 Aquavista Way, and then it goes 60, and then it goes 70. Yeah.
They did that on purpose. Upland.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll just leave it at that, and we'll leave it as the 30 Aquavista Way. It's just, I want to get that ad out there, but there's no real point pushing that ad out there if there's nothing at 30 Aquavista Way.
I know, and then people, their attention spans are so low, like mine is too. Like, you really want to get it out at the perfect moment. Like, I wasn't thinking of that before, and you talked me into that, which I appreciate, because I was just like, get it out. I want to get it out. And you were like, no, we gotta wait. And it's true. I feel like it'll be much better.
So maybe we need to put
an in between.
Yeah. So we could say, you know, manufacturing has begun in Potoro Hill at this address, and keep your eyes out for the showroom to begin construction at blah 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 address, or something like that. It seems like we do need a temporary in between situation. But I just cut me hair. I don't have me Don't have me greasy. Don't have me greasy comb over spot.
No, but we would have to do something different. I'd have to think about it because like I want it to be like different. You know what I mean?
Maybe
It's gotta
something
be
with like
unique.
a dialogue, like, hey, I'm looking, my backyard is looking very, very empty. Where should I go? And then
Yeah.
like,
Well,
And then
construction
I
has
could be
begun.
like, you know, I could use some seating out here. Where should I go? And then it'll be like, come on over.
you do like a video where you come out and you try to sit and just fall on the floor. You're like, oh my God. So
We don't know what the hell we're doing. The plans keep changing, but yeah. All right.
We're rolling with the punches.
Well, you're the writer and the director of that, so roll some ideas around your head and see.
Well, I mean, Detech has a lot of great freaking ideas. Like write out a screenplay, and I'll look it over and make it happen. That sounds freaking amazing. I like what he put together right there.
Cool.
I think I could write it off of what you just said. I could write something and have you look at it.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It needs to reference that the factory is in Pottero Hill. Go over there and check that out, and keep your eyes peeled for 30 Aqua Vista Way showroom on the way or something. I don't know. However you want to do it in my shitty Australian accent. Pretend you're a bogan Australian.
Hello, mates. You want some shrimp on a barbie?
Oh, I knew you were gonna fucking say that.
Well, we got some barbies for you.
Throw you on the fucking barbie. Cheese on the barbie. Yes, we better put a severe language warning.
To put your shrimps on.
Oh God.
Yes. I'm great. I'm so funny.
All right. Well, I think that gets us up to speed with everything except the pricing, which, as I said, we're not at liberty to share. So we'll leave it at that. And I'll press stop recording. We'll dive into that stuff.
You're probably like, she should have stayed eating.